Hi, I'm Nataliia, a trauma-informed yoga teacher, and today let's talk about knee pain during a yoga practice. More specifically, knee pain in hip openers. So, why does your knee or knees hurt in hip opening poses? Let's take Warrior 2, for example, and focus on this leg because this is the hip that is open and this is where your knee may hurt. By the way, in any hip openers, if you experience knee pain, it is most likely going to be on the inner surface of the knee. And here is why. Your hip joint is a ball in socket joint. So it rotates, and here I have my leg externally rotated for the hip to open. My other leg is internally rotated, but more on that later. Your hip has a range of motion, and it differs from day to day. And when you are in a hip opening pose and your hip has reached the end of that range of motion, but you want to go deeper, wider, whatever you want to do with that pose, and your hip can no longer take the additional motion you wanted to do, it starts to delegate to the knee. So if the rotation can no longer happen in a hip, the rotation starts to happen in the knees. Our shoulders, our hips, they are meant to move in many directions. Our knees, however, are designed to bend the knee and open and bend and open. Any type of rotations are not really good for the knee. If you're a skier, you know what I'm talking about. So if you are in a pose, Warrior 2, and you want to jam yourself deeper despite your hip telling you no, that is most likely when your inner knee will start to say ouch. At first quietly, and then the more you do this, louder and louder and louder. How do you handle this? Well, let's say you are in a hip opener. Let's take Goddess, for example. The moment you feel discomfort in your knees, that is your sign to back out of the pose. And I don't mean to quit yoga practice, not at all. But you want to get out of the motion that is too much for your body to handle in a no pain way. In seated poses, your adjustments are going to look differently. While in standing poses, you just lift yourself up and out of the pose. While seated, that may not be accessible. So what do you do to not feel the pain? You get props. If you have knee pain, you must get props or use items in your house to support your knees. So for example, in a cross-legged position, you can just prop your knees on blocks or pillows or whatever you find, books, boxes, so that your knees are supported and you can focus on opening your hips. Another option is to sit up higher so that when you are doing these poses, your hips are higher and therefore your knees are lower. As you can see right here, my knees are much lower and they are in line with the hips. If you need more height, get more height. If here you still need padding under your knees, get padding. The goal is to not feel pain in your knees when you practice. You also may feel knee pain in lunges. So here it's really important to pay attention to the stacking of your joints so that your knee is above your ankle. And I mean it in every direction because very often our knees, they fall out, they fall in, and that can translate into pain in various parts of the knee. So if you are in a lunge, make sure that your leg is perpendicular to the floor. It's not doing that because that is more likely to give you pain. Main takeaway from this video is It is your body. It is your practice. It is your responsibility to stay pain-free and treat your body well. So if you are in a pose and your teacher tells you to go deeper in it, but you know that's going to hurt your knee, you stay where you are because you know better. It is your body. You live in it. You know what it feels like. And remember, your health is number one priority, and it definitely is more important than the depths of your practice, your ego, your wishes. Stay healthy, stay pain-free, and if you have any questions, drop them down in the comments. I'll do my best to respond either there or I'll make another video. And subscribe to the conversations about yoga. I'll see you soon.